Imagine our planet today, a beautiful blue marble floating in the vastness of space, teeming with life and brimming with natural wonders. Now picture this, scattered across its surface are around 15,000 extremely powerful bombs. These bombs are not just any bombs, they are nuclear weapons, each with the potential to cause catastrophic damage. These are not ordinary bombs. They are the most destructive weapons ever created by humankind. These are nuclear weapons, each capable of unimaginable destruction. A single detonation can wipe out entire cities, leaving nothing but ruins and radiation in its wake. The United States and Russia possess most of these weapons. Together, they hold over 90% of the world's nuclear arsenal. The rest are spread among a handful of other countries, including China, France, the United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea. Each of these nations has its own stockpile, adding to the global threat. This is the reality of our world, a world living under the shadow of potential nuclear war. The mere existence of these weapons creates a constant state of tension and fear. These weapons are a product of human ingenuity, for better or worse. They were developed through decades of scientific research and technological advancement. They represent our technological prowess, but also our capacity for self-destruction. The same minds that brought us medical breakthroughs and space exploration also created these instruments of annihilation. The sheer number of these weapons is staggering, enough to obliterate every major city on Earth many times over. The power contained within these arsenals is almost beyond comprehension. This brings us to a chilling concept: overkill. The idea that we have more than enough nuclear weapons to destroy our planet several times over. It's a sobering reminder of the destructive potential we hold in our hands. The devastating impact of nuclear weapons was first witnessed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II. The bombings resulted in unprecedented loss of life and long-term suffering for the survivors. In response to this threat, global peace movements and anti-nuclear protests have emerged, advocating for disarmament and a world free of nuclear weapons. Diplomatic efforts have also been made to reduce the number of nuclear weapons through treaties and agreements, such as the Non-Proliferation Treaty and the New START Treaty. Despite the grim reality, there is hope. The vision of a world without nuclear weapons is one that many strive for, believing that peace and security can be achieved through dialogue and cooperation. Imagine a future where children can play without the looming threat of nuclear war, where nations work together to ensure the safety and well-being of all humanity. It is a future worth striving for, a world where the shadow of nuclear weapons no longer hangs over us, and where we can live in harmony and peace. The term overkill describes a situation where the force used is far greater than what's needed to achieve the objective. This concept can be applied to various scenarios, from military strategies to everyday life situations. However, it is most chillingly illustrated in the realm of nuclear weapons. In the context of nuclear weapons, overkill means having the capacity to destroy our targets many times over. This isn't just about having a few extra bombs, it's about possessing an arsenal so vast that it could obliterate the same target multiple times, ensuring complete and utter destruction. We have enough nuclear weapons to wipe out every city on Earth with plenty to spare. The sheer number of these weapons is staggering, and their combined destructive power is almost beyond human comprehension. Each warhead represents a potential catastrophe, and together they form a doomsday scenario. The destructive power of these weapons is difficult to comprehend. To put it into perspective, the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II were devastating. Yet today's nuclear weapons are many times more powerful. A single modern warhead can cause exponentially more damage. A single nuclear detonation can level a city in an instant, causing widespread death and devastation. The immediate blast would obliterate buildings, incinerate everything in its path, and create a firestorm that would consume anything left standing. The aftermath would be equally horrific, with radiation poisoning and long-term environmental damage. Now imagine thousands of these weapons detonating simultaneously. The scale of destruction would be unimaginable, with entire regions reduced to ashes in moments. The global impact would be catastrophic, affecting not just the immediate targets, but the entire planet. It's a terrifying thought experiment, but one that reveals the true extent of the danger we've created. The concept of overkill in nuclear terms isn't just about excessive force, it's about the potential for total annihilation. This stark reality forces us to confront the consequences of our actions and the urgent need for disarmament and peace. Let's imagine for a moment that all nuclear weapons detonated simultaneously. Where would this unimaginable release of energy occur? For the sake of this example, let's say it happens in the heart of the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon is the Earth's largest rainforest, a place teeming with life and biodiversity. Choosing a specific location helps us visualize the immediate impact and the ripple effects that would follow. The Amazon, with its dense vegetation and vital role in regulating the planet's climate, provides a stark backdrop for this doomsday scenario. In the first few seconds, a blinding flash of light would engulf the Amazon. A massive fireball, millions of degrees hot, would vaporize everything in its immediate vicinity. This fireball would rise rapidly, creating a powerful updraft that sucks in surrounding air, debris, and even the Earth itself. This would be followed by a shockwave, a wall of highly compressed air traveling at supersonic speeds. The shockwave would radiate outwards, flattening forests, pulverizing rock, and instantly killing any living creature in its path. The immediate aftermath would be a scene of unimaginable devastation. Section 5. The long shadow of fallout. The aftermath of a nuclear explosion is far-reaching and catastrophic. But the initial blast is only the beginning. The immediate destruction is just the first wave of a much larger disaster. In the wake of the explosions, trillions of tons of radioactive debris would be hurled into the atmosphere. This debris, consisting of tiny particles, would be carried by the wind, creating a global hazard. This radioactive material, known as fallout, would be carried by winds and spread across the globe. The fallout would not respect borders or boundaries, affecting countries far from the initial blast site. As the fallout settles back to Earth, it would contaminate everything it touches. Soil, water, plants, and animals would all be affected, leading to a chain reaction of environmental devastation. This invisible poison would have devastating long-term consequences. The contamination would persist for years, if not decades, making large areas uninhabitable and disrupting ecosystems. Exposure to high levels of radiation causes radiation sickness, a debilitating and often fatal condition. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, and severe fatigue, and in many cases it leads to death. Even low levels of radiation exposure can increase the risk of cancer and other health problems. Over time, the cumulative effects of radiation can lead to genetic mutations, birth defects, and a host of chronic illnesses. The long shadow of fallout extends beyond human health. Entire communities would be forced to abandon their homes, leaving behind ghost towns and contaminated landscapes. The social and economic impact would be profound, with displaced populations struggling to find new places to live and work. History has shown us glimpses of this grim reality. Nuclear test sites from the past still bear the scars of radiation, serving as a stark reminder of the long-lasting effects of nuclear fallout. The global community must work together to prevent such a catastrophe. Diplomatic efforts, treaties and disarmament initiatives are crucial in reducing the threat of nuclear war and its devastating aftermath. Scientists continue to study the effects of radiation, seeking ways to mitigate its impact and protect future generations. Their work is vital in understanding the full scope of the threat and finding solutions to minimize harm. By learning from the past and working together, we can hope to prevent the long shadow of fallout from darkening our future. The goal is a world where peace and safety prevail, free from the looming threat of nuclear devastation. Section 6. Digging our own grave. Now let's take this thought experiment a step further. Imagine that instead of just detonating existing nuclear weapons, we mined every last ounce of uranium on Earth. Uranium is the key ingredient in nuclear weapons, and there's a finite amount of it available. Mining all the Earth's uranium would be a monumental task, requiring us to excavate vast areas and potentially jeopardizing the environment further. But the end result would be a stockpile of nuclear weapons, far exceeding our current arsenal. Section 7. An extinction-level event. Detonating this massive stockpile would unleash an amount of energy that's difficult to even comprehend. It would be akin to the asteroid impact that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. The Chicxulub impact, as it's known, released an estimated 100 million megatons of energy, triggering widespread wildfires, tsunamis, and a global impact winter. The detonation of all our hypothetical nuclear weapons would likely dwarf even this cataclysmic event. It would represent a deliberate act of self-destruction, pushing our planet to the brink and beyond. Section 8. A world transformed. The immediate aftermath would be catastrophic, but the long-term consequences would be even more profound. The massive release of energy would ignite global wildfires, injecting soot and ash into the atmosphere. The resulting smoke and dust would block out the sun, plunging the Earth into a state of perpetual darkness. This nuclear winter, as it's called, would last for years, perhaps even decades. Without sunlight, global temperatures would plummet, plant life would wither and die, and the planet's delicate ecosystems would collapse. Section 9. The end of us. It's highly unlikely that any life, human or otherwise, could survive such a cataclysmic event. The combined effects of radiation poisoning, environmental devastation, and global cooling would create a world utterly inhospitable to life as we know it. Humanity, along with countless other species, would be wiped out in one fell swoop. The Earth, once teeming with life, would become a silent, barren wasteland. The legacy of our species would be a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive power of unchecked technological advancement. Section 10. A silent legacy. Millions of years from now, long after the last traces of our civilization have crumbled to dust, imagine that another intelligent species evolves on Earth. What will they make of our legacy? They might find remnants of our cities, our art, our technology, but they'll also find evidence of our destruction, a layer of radioactive isotopes in the geological record, a stark reminder of the day we almost destroyed our planet. Perhaps they'll learn from our mistakes, or perhaps they'll be destined to repeat them. Only time will tell.